cloud, morning cloud, UFO, forest deers. I wish I had just a couple more friends. I'd go out and drink a couple more beers. Wish I could read your mind like a World War War, my daddy in the NSA. Wish I could hold your hand like a chainsaw, like fuck you, go away. Cause I'm a manic, depressive, fixated, religious grandiosity, delusions and reference, preferences for someone to fill my curiosity. Wish I could get attention from figments of my imagination, phrases and figurative language, figure it out. Symptoms of my anxiety, panic attack code is written in proprietary. Self-isolation, reflecting narcissistic hatred, withdrawal from drugs and medication, compartmentalizing misanthropic disassociation. I never made it to my high school's graduation. Singing, I don't need therapy. Don't need your gaslighting bullshit ADHD. I don't need therapy. Your Prozac or bullets for World War III. Even if the beat stops, I'll keep singing. Even if my lyrics fly, I'll keep dreaming. Even if my lungs are shot, I'll keep screaming. Oh, wishing I could run away, but I wouldn't know where to go or what to say. Oh, we're never coming back. Hey buddy, do you read the sign? It's a one-way trap. Oh, wishing I could run away, but I wouldn't know where to go or what to say. I'll figure it out. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Figure it out. I'll be playing at the cemetery. Fight the hawk. That one's trying to raise the alarm.
Being fucking brave, like, alright.
No one else seems to care right now. He's just circling. Sometimes I think they do it for dominance, just to piss off the other birds once the birds try to fuck with them. Like, you think you're gonna fuck with me? I'm gonna come fuck with you. He's probably looking at us. He's probably, what are these gay people doing?
Is that a deer down there?
I'm way too colorful.
What's the color they didn't like on birds?
It's a little snail. But also, these are yellow irises, and no one planted these. They actually just naturally like the floodlands. And then these here, let me get closer. Well, actually, there's a ton right here. These are forget-me-nots. These are a really beautiful flower. I'm actually gonna get these tattooed on me, I think.
Oh hell yeah!
And then I think those are just buttercups out there.
Focus on the fucking snail. Please.
That's pretty cute. Like, I had never seen this or even heard of this before, but it's blooming at the cemetery. I was not expecting that. This is Weigela. That's what the internet says, at least. I've never seen this. I mean, I guess it's here, but Weigela. It's weird. It really is. I wasn't expecting to see any flowers today that I didn't recognize. I'm glad I did. This is huge. I mean, I wonder how old this one is. It's like, this looks like a tree.
Yeah, it's a proper.
Most people have it as like a teeny little, yeah, like a little brown shrub. I mean, this is probably like very old.
It's cool. Not often you see that.
Definitely not. It's got to be peony. It's the only thing that's like big enough, right?
Right.
Plus, it's got those like
It
weird like fist, yeah, the little like weird like fist-shaped bulbs or whatever. Like egg shaped, not fist.
Yeah. It's really pretty.
Car insurance is fucking expired.
It still always makes me
Fuck you.
heart rate spike that.
Same. I'm like, oh god.
Like, leave me the fuck alone.
Like, is it like the NSA? Are they trying to like arrest me? Probably they wouldn't call me, right?
Yeah, probably not. It seems very courteous to let you know in advance of the arrest.
Mm-hmm. Could be like enemy of the state. Like, you gotta go. Get out now, Neo. I look ridiculous.
You look like a DJ.
Yeah, a little bit. Hi, little Shinigami.
Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a safe day, okay? Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, it's not happening. Oh, don't do it. Here's another one. Oh, no. I've always wanted to walk across this. Well, not always, but since it fell. Because before it fell, I didn't want to walk across it because it was vertical. Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. I have to look this up.
They have a YouTube channel where they describe it too.
Dude, that's
one of
lit.
my favorite ones was Sonder,
Oh.
which is the feeling of
I know that one.
realizing that other people have a life as complex and vivid as your own, so you're not the main character of your story. Essentially, you're just a background character to a whole bunch of other people.
I hate that when I'm on the highway and I'm just like,
You wonder,
I
like,
am
like-
traffic. No.
It's interesting to think that all those people have common, or just somebody they see in a window at some point.
So somebody asked me, they were like, Sarah, Priestess, do you actually have a TikTok? And I said, no. Who has boundaries?
Team Rocket outfit I wore at Resist. I was wearing that there. And this guy goes, oh, can I get a picture of you? You look like Jesse and James at the same time, because I had this hair.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. That's what I was going for.
Uh-huh.
But they're like, do you mind if I put my arm around you? I'm like,
No.
sure. I was like, you know what? Okay.
Okay.
Here's the thing. He did not lower his hand to my ass. He maintained the hover hand. I was like, wow. So you're... But he took a video, and he was like, he did the whole pan down. He's like, wow, you have the stockings, too, and everything. I mean, you're taking this to jerk off to later, probably.
Oh.
But he
You said that to him?
No, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh.
But I'm like,
Oh,
but
shit, I was like, what?
he hover-handed the whole time. I'm like, you know what? You're a pervert that respects boundaries. I kind of upload a picture to every so often because fuck it.
Yeah.
So you have an active fat life.
I guess it's kind of active. It's like once a month. I'm like, here's my tits.
That's an active fat life. What?
But I'm like, I'm not gonna talk to any of you through message because you're just a bunch of meatball-looking guys.
Oh, yeah.
This is Plantago
And then
lanceolata.
a whole bunch of like
The white
cross-dressers
man's
that are, like
footprint.
40 years old.
It's also
I had
known
a
as plantain.
I had a scammer guy offer to be my sugar daddy once.
Actually, plantain is probably more common than the other two.
And just... See, I
like
would,
the little,
I would
like, the
sometimes,
little flowers.
you know, accept money for services. That is not one of them. I found that that is dysphoric for me, actually. And
Shinigami pointed out the multiflora rose. Multiflora. I always say floral because it's like the word floral is like flowers, but it's multiflora rose. I like this plant. It is invasive. It's thorny. I won't destroy it just for the sake of it. But yeah, it's a rose. Pretty cute. You're supposed to tell the joke, not me.
oh, I don't wanna. It's your joke. I don't tell other people's jokes.
It's pretty cute. No idea what it is. Ugh. It's just like some weird fucking tree.
Yeah.
Nice hood.
Thanks.
Look like still Peter Pan. I was gonna say like a Sith Lord, but nah, you still look like Peter Pan. Hi.
Hi.
You'll pull me over again, said I would drive just to see you come walking those boots. Yeah, I would call bomb threats to hear your voice come through the radio. You could pop search me, you're damn right I'd consent to your strip search. You could bend me over on the hood of your car. I'll face it, Terry. Oh, you know I've been a real bad girl. I'll face it, Terry. I hope you'll pull me over again. I got the pots for me, pots, but I'm no fascist. If you take off your body pants, you won't know what happens. Name a badge number, am I being detained with for me on my neck? Take my breath away, I'll face it, Terry. Oh, you know I've been a real bad girl. I'll face it, Terry. I hope you'll pull me over again. I got the pots for me, pots, but I'm no fascist. If you take off your body pants, you won't know what happens. Got some handcuffs, rope me up, throw me in prison. Advise me of my rights, that is my secret mission to love you. You'll never have to say please to get me down on my knees. You're screaming at me to freeze. It's gonna be so hot when you come persuade me. I'll face the Terry. Oh, you know I'm being a real bad girl. I'll face the Terry. I hope you pull me over again. Oh, I hope you pull me over again. Oh, that last one sucked. Ah, that's why. Oh no, my pick. Rip.
Alright.
It started. I should have started.
Parkour,
as I asked you
parkour.
how many. It was not really parkour.
Oh, I know.
Wait, what was the rule? I can't touch the middle things?
Yeah.
And you said halfway?
Yeah.
I'll meet you at the other side.
I'm already
There's no way I'm not
uncoordinated, unfortunately. I need to use the post to actually stand up on the thing. This is a lot thinner than I thought.
You got it.
Wow, trying to play though is impressive.
Maybe I will join you guys. I think I will.
Babe, just be really careful because you don't have two hands to catch yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Y'all are crazy.
Haha.
Y'all are crazy. Say again? You think so? I haven't touched a single one yet. Neither have I. You're pretty sure? You're sure of what you're Well, I'm not touching it.
Yeah. No, I definitely can.
It's weird because it like, Chris,
Yeah, I'll take the phone if you want.
I got it.
I'll film you.
Oh, okay.
You could do it. Did we all three make it?
Yeah.
I hope that's a big confidence booster for everybody. Thanks for doing it with me.
yeah,
Y'all were saying I couldn't even make it halfway, and then y'all made it all the
it
whole
gets
way.
a little hairy 'cause
Think
it
about
twists
that.
at the end.
It's
Yeah.
true, it's true. Thanks for doing that. The question was, what is this? And it's equisetum. And then it's a horsetail. It's known as horsetail, but it's also known as equisetum. And when it first comes up, it's a teeny little version of this, and then it gets really like a horse's tail. And then this is skunk cabbage. Back on the path. Around the guitar. Sorry.
Yeah.
I gotta go down and film it. Yeah, sorry. I don't know. My guess is that this may be thimbleweed, but now that I'm getting close, I actually don't think it is. I have no idea what this is gonna bloom into. What is this? It's just kind of coming out. Wild onion, maybe? Hard to say. We'll check back in later in the week. This one's flowering. This one's like a white little flower. I'll bet this is like wild onion or something. Here, let me see if I can focus it. Yeah, I don't know immediately offhand what this is. This is new for me. Hold on, I gotta get a picture for the cemetery. So I don't actually know what this is, but I suspect that, I thought at first that all these would become little different flowers, but I suspect now that maybe it's just this one little flower, and that this is just like the thing, like the seed or something. I don't know, I'm gonna get a picture of this for my field guide. Ugh. I wish there was like a gravestone in the way. Mm-hmm. See if I can get it on camera. So where the sun is, you can kind of sort of see that there's, well, not really on the camera, it's a little blown out, but those are flowers, like little yellow flowers, but then nowhere else has yellow flowers around it. Just the area that's getting sun right now. I wonder what creates that shadow profile. Something up there.
Because it was, you know, like very one-to-one. I knew it wasn't dysphoria. Like I was like, no, this is a trigger.
Yeah. I've no. This is Morning Glory. Today is June 4th, 2022. 2022. Not 2022.
Mm-hmm.
That's way too many years in the future. Looks like some progress is being made. They got more rocks. Oh, and actually they got rid of the rocks there, so they probably actually used them up. Let's see, did they? Oh yeah, look at that. That's the first level foundation, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hard to tell, actually. This is hawkweed growing out of the place that I would normally find early saxifrage. Look at this one. This one's going crazy. So yeah, it's hawkweed. So this is, I'll join you. This is, fuck, what was it? I don't know why I just stopped recording, that was weird. I was talking about my partner, like, I don't know, like, it frightens me, like, how much they remember. Like, I tell them something and they just remember. They build a schematic in their head of, like, all my friends and who my friends are friends with and all the things I say about those friends. And they're really good at remembering all that stuff, like, even by name. And, like, they're really deep at processing stuff like that. So they really do understand, and they really listen to me, and they behave as if they listen to me, and I fucking love them for it. But they aren't they're not processing all of it in real time. And so I never get frustrated with that because I love them and I love hanging out with that. But it's different when I do have that real time back and forth as I do with this person. And as with conversation, I find that excessively rare, exceptionally rare. Most people, unlike my partner, are listening, but they're not even really listening, or they're listening-ish, but they're not processing. Right? So I just can't stand those people for the most part. I'm just like, it's a one-sided conversation, it's boring. Because there's never going to be a point to having a one-sided conversation. Whereas with my partner, it's a two-way conversation, and there's always a point to it because they will inevitably get back to me on the important stuff. Or they're just enjoying my company and I'm enjoying theirs, and it works out really well for us. And we hold hands and we smooch, and it's cute. And we do like cute little mating stuff. It's cute. But with this person, it's like, it's less about cuteness and more about just like ripping our souls the fuck apart. It's nice. It's really nice. And so I kind of gassed them up a little bit because they kind of deserve it. I'm just like, yo, like, listen, this is my observations. Like, fuck kind of all what you're doing. Like, you're better than that. That's kind of the gist of it. I don't want to get too personal in their business, but yeah, I mean, it's been really fun hanging out with this person today, and yeah, I hope for more time with them. Like, when we do get time, we get a lot of it because we make room for each other. Because we have these soul-ripping talks that are, like, they're very goth. Like, she's like, blah, blah, blah. She said, like, I told her the story. I was like, so today my ex-girlfriend, I pointed to this stone. I said, that's my ex-girlfriend's last name. She texted me this morning asking, do you think we're still friends? Or do you think we just do it out of familiarity for appearances? And I'm just like, I don't know. I have nothing but ashes in my mouth for you now. All the I love yous have now turned to dust. Like, we both love that shit. Like, we're both just, like, the most annoying fucking goths to each other in our stupid little chat. And, you know, and I also mean it. I'm sad about my ex. Like, but it's, yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know.
I liked the girl in my class, but all the other guys liked her too, and she didn't pay any attention. But I kept after her, Eddie.
Did you finally get her to notice you?
Yes, I did. In fact, I finally got her to marry me.
They love the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Today is June the 8th, 2022. I was here yesterday and the day before and the day before. I've been here just about every day this week, just like filming, and you know, it's looking really nice. It's the 20th day in the month of Prairial, the month of meadows, and soon will come the month of harvest, the month of Mesador. The milkweed, hopefully they don't destroy that, but I do not have high hopes. I think they probably will. Last year, the Deptford pinks bloomed right here. This year they are not up yet, but also neither are most of the asters. None of the goldenrod, none of the Queen Anne's lace. There's a lot missing, you know. It's interesting because it's like it's lush and it's green this time of year. And the secondary flower bloomers haven't, well, I guess the third wave flowers haven't come out. So yeah, welcome back to Albany's Rural Cemetery. This is Rainbows and Razor Blades. The wind is wonderful. Just look at all that movement. This is called Japanese barberry, spelled how you'd think, like barberry. It's one word. And that's my friend, they just arrived. They just texted me. So yeah, I ripped this out because it was sprouting up, and you see these like sharp thorns on it. It just gets worse and worse. It's invasive, so yeah, I destroyed that. There's just so much life out here. Like, there's not enough, like, nature life, like bugs and stuff like that, but there's a lot of, like, green. Like, compared to, like, an office, you know? So I'm pretty stoked about that, to be here.
But priestess, if you walk through the hawkweed and all the other high grasses and the buttercups and the fleabanes and the purple clover and the white clover and the plantago lanceolata and the chickweed, if you prance through all that, you'll get ticks.
It occurs to me that anyone who just like sees me filming who doesn't really know what I'm filming or why probably thinks I'm a lunatic. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not a lunatic, I'm just saying they probably think that I am. Some type of bee. I don't know how to identify insects like that. But I'm cheering for you, little dude. You can do it. This one right here, I did not break this. This broke itself, or maybe wilted itself. I will harvest a teeny little bit. Just this much. To show you. And also because I want to smell it. But to show you. It won't zoom. It never does. Look at that. Here, I'll zoom it. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. That's the trick. Holy fuck, too much. So it's really good at like close range zooming. Ew, my cuticles. That's not a good fetish. Cuticle fetish, not okay. So yeah, white yarrow. Today is June the 8th. Oh my god, it smells so good, dude. Oh, it smells more beautiful than ever, actually. It's the most beautiful yarrow I've ever smelled, and it makes sense because it's blooming. And last year I only discovered that it smelled before the bloom. Oh my goodness. Hello down there. Check this plant out from under it. Look how beautiful that is. Look at its leaf structure. Do you see that? Do you see how it splits into like a million little pieces? Million leaves. Millefolium. Achillea. Millefolium. Million leaves. Crazy, right? It's white yarrow. I have to like take off my backpack for this. Wow. Wow, dude. First of all, there's nothing even similar to that out there that I know of. Like, later on in the year, it kind of burns off and decays and smells like I've been describing, like cinnamon or vanilla. Or like minty almost sometimes like citrusy. It's really weird. But it's got these like weird, like pungent kind of, just always just the most marvelous smells. But this, man, this is like pure pollen essence, like the essential oils. And man, oh man, it smells. Because this is before the season has decayed and gone to seed, and mostly what I had been smelling was the seeds, the lignified stuff, and I've never smelled the blooming yarrow until that moment in my entire life. And it has already been my favorite plant for like the last 2 years. and I just didn't know how good it would smell, and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting to smell it. See, I even got it tattooed. Like, I'm not joking. I love this plant. And here, I'll show you. And I'll show you the actual plant. Isn't that pretty cool? And yeah, so that's the first time I've smelled it. Look at this one. It's already bending over. Alright, I'm gonna harvest a little more. Wow. It's so much more fresh. Like, I don't know how to describe what else is even like in it, because it doesn't smell similar to later in the season. Like, it has the same really good smell as later in the season also, but there's something else that's there that definitely decays by the end of the season. My friend's here. Thanks for joining. We'll be right back after this. You know what really ticks me off about this place? It's all the ticks. I just want to show you where I'm sitting and where I've been sitting. So, like, this is like where I'm sitting. Okay, this is the road. As you can see, I'm not exactly very far from it. However, I do understand that there is a visual obstruction right here, and maybe a little bit of a camouflaging effect going on with the guitar and my color of my shirt. But I don't know, man. My friend went tearing by me in their car, and I swear I thought that they had waved and seen me, but then they just like dipped this way and then dipped this way, and I was like in the road like, hello, and they just, I'm like, how are you so oblivious right now? So I sent them kind of like a goofy text. I was like, ask me how I know that you're lost at the bottom of the hill. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're very lost, and I should have seen them again by now if they actually went back up the hill. So
Actually, this is Jess's shit. So I'm gonna wear this crap. Ooh, actually, look at these. These are pink.
this Health Speedwell, I had to look this up. This one's new to me. I just found it blooming next to these hawkweeds.
Yeah.
It's for my vlog. the yeah comments, Jez has the same dialogue, because they often respond with a yeah.wave file.
Oh, I didn't realize you were recording.
Oh yeah.
Here, I'm gonna let
Sorry,
you talk.
yeah.
No, you're good.
You can talk over it. It always makes for really good background dialogue when people are in it. Like, all of my friends are in at least like one of my episodes.
That's great.
I don't know anything about this flower. I just know it's called Health Speedwell. I found it blooming today. I was not expecting to find any new flower, but yeah, here it is blooming. It looks pretty cool. It's kind of like covering this whole area, and it's next to the hawkweed.
It's texting me.
Four-leaf
It's just
clover.
my family, so go off.
It's a 4-leaf clover.
I feel like I'm not allowed to pick that one because.
Oh yeah, you know, I never pick them.
You never do. I collect
No,
them.
not once. I never pick them.
Oh,
I used to, but
I'm gonna say that I'm only gonna pick them if I'm the one who finds them.
I
That
picked
one's
them.
different. That's not really a 4-leaf because it's got the flower in
True.
the center.
I picked them for a press book, if only if I think it's gonna get mowed,
Yeah.
and if only if I have the press book with me.
Yeah.
And I only bring it here twice a year.
I haven't seen one yet this year. You found the first one of the year. That's pretty
That is my 5th one that I found this year, and I also found 1 5-leaf clover this year, and 2 albino expressions of white trifolium
I haven't been
protens.
outside enough, and that's how I know
Yes.
that I haven't been out enough. Because
Yes, that's true with
there's certain
everybody.
years where I've foraged 30 of them in like a day.
That's lit.
Yeah, it was at ROMI, and I was alone. And I think I smoked weed.
That's the place that you brought me with that wacky thing that it said that you were allowed to climb, but I read the sign wrong. It
And
actually
then it
said
was
do
like,
not
you're
climb.
actually not allowed to climb that.
Yeah, I was like, I swear to God, that said please climb. Like, I read it that way.
Yeah.
That was weird. So it's like Blade. So the story that you just told.
Yeah.
To paraphrase it, she says, the first time I cut his flesh, I was terrified, threw up, and had a panic attack. That happened, you know, I think the 5th time, and never again after that. And then she like turns it around, and it's like this guy he's a cyborg, and so this is from Blade. They are doing extreme BDSM on this dude by slicing him all the way down to the spinal cord, and then fucking with the spinal cord itself. And so they're doing this, but he's like a cyborg version of that.
Okay.
And so that's like her kink, and like she hangs out at both the arcade and the goth thing. It was funny, I went looking for a cyberpunk nightclub. I found the goth club. And then the story became goth, not cyberpunk. I was looking very specifically for a Super Smash Brothers Melee scene, an arcade scene, and that's how I met my best friend, well, at the time, my best friend Joe, because I went to the stupid arcade, just for this stupid fiction story. And this has been going for 6 years since. You've heard about all this nonsense, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it's getting crazy.
Yeah.
That's my ex-girlfriend's last name, and today she texted me, she's like, do you think we just text each other for, like, appearances? Or blah, 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 like, just for formality? And I was just like, I don't know, I have nothing but ashes in my mouth for you. And then we said, like, a bunch of other dramatic shit to each other. It was fun.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the most goth conversation I've ever had. It's pretty lit. It's a good amount of fun. Sometimes we both take it very seriously.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we get suicidal about it, and we can't tell how much of it's psychotic role play.
Or if it's real.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with her.
Again, you have the awareness of this though, whereas most don't.
I've also been hyper traumatized by a girl who pretended to be like 2 other people to like fuck with me on fake profiles to like get information out of me, and I'm autistic and I'm easily manipulated, or at least I was back then.
Yeah.
And I was overly trusting and like fell for her dumb traps.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, this is bad. It was just trauma.
Oh no.
And she was like,
Person, is it?
say?
That's not the same person, is it? The one you were
No,
telling me.
this is someone I don't even really talk about because it happened in college, and most of the trauma of that era, minus the just like weird psychotic behavior I was exhibiting at that time, like I've outgrown for the most part all of that.
Yeah.
To the point where I just like I don't even really bring it up.
Yeah.
Because like maybe it's because I haven't processed all of it yet,
Yeah.
but also because it kind of just feels like middle school at this point. Like it's just like, why am I gonna bring up middle school either?
Yeah, it just feels like silly.
It's like my old life, yeah. Thank God that's the case, because boy, I was crazy back then. I was like researching a whole bunch of crazy shit. I mean, not much has changed, but now it's all because I write these stupid stories. Thoughts that you express are thoughts that I also have constantly, and so it leads me to believe that the thing that we have in common the most is divergent racing thoughts that cluster under people who also have traits under the diagnostic criteria for what is ADHD.
It's so fun, isn't it?
It is, it is. It tickles my brain because normie language doesn't really jive with me.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to try to structure my language or the words in the ways that they do for the reasons and purposes that they kind of just sing-song their way through life. And I just don't really want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck this flower
Like
is.
that, but the most draining when you have to like, and I don't even realize I'm doing it, but I'm so conditioned by, you know, being, not identifying as a girl, but also being bad. It's just like the way we're raised, and like that's just an ingrained part of how we speak to each other. And like, it's just like I can't even, unfortunately, I think that I'm more authentic around just generally other queer people, and sometimes just cis men, because I'm not afraid of hurting their feelings.
That makes sense. I have all of the traits that, the ones that you're describing on the ones that you can jive with cis straight men. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a straight guy. Like, that's like kind of how I feel about the gender binary.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very different for me than it does seem to be. Well, I mean, it's not even a gender binary. It's like the transgenders that are doing the transgender thing, I'm convinced of it by this point. I don't think I'm doing the same thing that they're doing. I think that I'm doing it for the same reasons that they're doing it. But it doesn't seem to be the same actual thing that I'm doing. Or at least to this.
So different. I hang out with other trans girls, not often, but sometimes, and there was one who was...
I don't feel like I'm similar to other like transgender, like quote-unquote women.
Yeah, you're so different. I mean, just personality.
Them now that they're like, you know, doing the quadruple blooms. Thanks for joining me today.
Of course.
I was pretty stoked, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, fucking thank God, someone I can talk to. I am so sick of these people that I can half talk to.
Her back in the fall, and it's a decent piece. It's like a skull with mushrooms, and it's that whole thing.
Skull and Mushrooms was a good one.
It was a good one. But now I'm gonna go to her and get a piece from her on my
That's
leg,
awesome.
but I'm gonna get to see a whole new shop in a whole new city, and like see like, because I just haven't been to many tattoo shops like in general.
Yeah.
I've been to it a decent amount.
I
but-
think that, like, can I say something that might sound kind of judgy?
Yeah, do it.
There we go. It's a frog. Oh, there he goes.
Aww,
Did you see it?
he's so little. Cute.
This is Oriental
When
Bittersweet.
you were here with Jens the other day, all I could hear you guys talk about is, oh, this is yarrow. This is yarrow.
I'll show you the yarrow.
We gotta touch the yarrow.
Yeah, I'll show you the yarrow.
It's just carrot, right?
No, yarrow's not carrot.
But it's yarrow.
You'll see. You'll see it. I'll show you it on my leg in a second. It's tattooed on my leg. But I gotta film this incredible bloom because this wasn't blooming 2 days ago. I've been here every day for 5 days straight filming the flowers. I'm doing it for 3 reasons. 1, I have a vlog. 2, for a music video. But the 3rd is that I'm writing this field guide. And the field guide is gonna feature the flowers of Albany's Rural Cemetery. So I have to get a picture of every single one and list the days and the location that they bloom. And I'm gonna write a little bit of like a paragraph about each.
Oh my God, how dare you expose your ankles, you whore. You'll get ticks.
Film me flick this thing right here. But I gotta find one. Okay, here. See it? So this is Plantago lanceolata, the white man's footprint. And what would happen is when it would grow and the white men would walk over the trail again, watch this. I mean, that happens when animals do it too. Here, this one. Ready? Do you see the seeds explode out like that?
Yep.
So that's why. It's the white man's footprint. Plantago lanceolata, the wild plantain. And then next to it is buttercup. And then Trifolium repens, the white clover. And then Trifolium pratense, the purple clover.
Nerd.
And then some ground ivy. That's about it. That's about it. You're a nerd. Goth does select for autism and definitely for kinkiness. Or it may also be that kinkiness selects for autism. Or autism selects for kinkiness. There seems to be correlation between those things. What is this? Is this azaleas? This may be the biggest azalea bush. I gotta go double check this when I get closer with Google Lens. But I think this is something. Let's look it up. I can never pronounce it, but it's rhododendron, I think. It's like a huge rhododendron. I used to think it was like rhododendron because I just was going off what I had heard. But it's rhododendron. I can't fucking say it. Shit, it's getting eaten alive right now by the Oriental Bittersweet. I'll have to come back here another day with some clippers and clip these out. Clip this out. Remove all these dead branches. Get this Japanese barberry bullshit the fuck up out of here, because this is a real catastrophe. This is just killing the plant. Rhododendron. I can't say it. It's huge though.
Oh, you wanted to go?
No, I'm just wondering if we're going downhill.
Yeah.
Cool.
Look how fucking nice and mowed this shit is.
This is a different cemetery.
This doesn't even look real.
Yeah, we could go this way if you want. It's a different cemetery. It's not much to see, but it is kind of fun. That's fleabane. That's this flower.
Yeah.
This one.
What the fuck? How is this? You got all these flowers on your fucking leg now. Where'd those come from?
Deanna.
You look great. It looks like you're stepping through the grass.
They're all the flowers from here, and Deanna has been here, so she knew what to do. It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it looks like you're stepping through the cemetery.
I use it instructively when they're not in season, and when they are in season and in bloom, I've been bragging.
You're such a fucking nerd.
A little bit.
Something got chewed up over here.
Yeah.
It's like pieces of a deer.
Something.
Yo, what the fuck?
Some bird ate it, probably. This is St. Agnes Cemetery.
Do you ever come here?
Not generally. There's just no real reason to. I have before.
Why are they so close together?
I'm not really sure. Maybe my guess is that they're two different religious sects. I don't really know. That's actually a pretty good question. Maybe it has to do with money or something, or just like land ownership. But my best guess is just which congregation of which era, because this one's newer than the old one. Yeah, we could sit here for a while. I think of this place as a little bit too sterile. It's like a little bit too...
It's really clean.
Like there's no...
People think I'm cool.
Goth prestige. Hey, wait, it zoomed in on your leg for some reason. There it goes. Time, not here, but emotionally, this is where most of my time is spent. It's just like a good place to vibe.
Yeah. I remember you brought me here all the times, and I was like, yeah, I love this place. This is the place to be.
It is. Like, I'm a part of this place, so I'm careful how I treat it now. I used to not really give a fuck because I wasn't part of this place. I was kind of just tearing through on my bike. I was like, I don't give a fuck if I wear a shirt or spit or do whatever.
Oh, yeah?
Swear, piss, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
You just pee on everyone's gravestones?
Not really, but it was more just like I didn't really understand the pee spots here. Because I didn't really understand where all the lines of sight were. And, like, realistically, I don't think, like, anyone was, like, out here just, like, looking at my cock out. Like, oh, look at me. But, you know, who knows? Who knows?
I'm here to fucking piss. Whatever else there. I like this. I want this in my backyard. It would be expensive.
I treat this like my own backyard. You know, it's... Yeah, like, maybe it's flirting, but maybe it's not. Like, because, like, it started as, like...
Always be blunt and be like, hey, I like you.
Well, I think that's where it's going this next time. I mean, like, it's gonna have to. It's gonna come to the point where I look at them and I'm just like, so, spanking bridge, like, is this happening or what? Like, are we actually on the same page? Are we playing the same game, or am I just out here memeing on my own? If I am, that's fine. It just means I have to adjust. It just means I have to adjust my mindset towards it. Like, oh, we weren't actually flirting. It wasn't necessarily that I misinterpreted that. It was that there have been. It's not mixed signals. It's just like, well, I might secretly have a green light. Oh yeah, I might secretly have a green light too. But like, there's not like, oh look, my green lights. Ooh, come fuck me. It's been more just like, oh yeah, hypothetically, I would love to do topless photography out here. And then like the next month, it's like, ooh, no one's around, right? And so it's escalated.
Yeah. I love you. So fun. Give me the tea once all this goes down. Like,
yeah. So we'll see, because like I'm pretty patient, and it's been a game that I've been playing. And if it is a game that only I've been playing, and they're just like, yeah, I just don't feel it, like I'm not into that, I think it's kind of an awkward idea, and I think we should just like keep it platonic. I'll be like, yo, that's fine, because you still listen to my cyborg fiction, and that is really important to me. So,
yeah, you're fucking funny.
not a lot of people are like super into that.
Can I hear your cyborg fiction?
Good. Oh, is it good? It's the best thing you'll ever hear. Well, only if you're into cyberpunk. Like, if you're not into cyberpunk, then it's like, it's good.
Yeah. Like,
but if you're into cyberpunk, it's the best cyberpunk you'll ever hear. I'm convinced of that. That's the truth.
I have that.
Fucking up for those white pills, for those pipe dreams, broken promise rings, scars and cuts.